Welcome to the Church in the Wild podcast. You'll be hearing the words from worship from Sunday, October 26, 2025, where we conclude our series on witchcraft with a conversation led by Kayden around crystals. You can find out more about Church in the Wild and all of our upcoming events and programs at churchinthewild.org. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Barb. So Kayden today will be talking to us about mineral crystals and explaining how they can be used for different things. And by definition, a crystal is just a naturally occurring solid whose atoms are arranged in a very orderly and repeating pattern. So that is true for all of those things up there.
Is a diamond a crystal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Well, a diamond is, yes. It's like, like diamonds are minerals are made of crystals. It's kind of like down the rung there, but yes, it is, yes. So the amazing thing about a mineral's crystals is that for a certain mineral, their crystals are always the same. So for example, a common quartz crystal, I don't know if you have any up there, but
That's big one.
okay, will always have 6 sides and be hard enough to scratch glass. That's one of the characteristics. Halite crystals, which is natural salt, they're cube-shaped. They look like ice cubes, kind of. And they're fairly soft. You can scratch them with your fingernail, and they dissolve in water. And the list goes on. A certain type of crystal could come in different colors. There's different colors of quartz, depending on any extra elements that might be present. But the shape always stays the same. Well, the crystal that I wanted to talk about is not on that table because it is the kind that we'll be seeing lots of before too long around here, and that is the snowflake crystal. And the big difference between snowflake crystals and mineral crystals is that no two snowflakes are alike. And they all start out the same way. So in that manner, at the very beginning, they're all alike, but their unique journeys from the clouds to the ground create the unique shapes that we see in the end products. So inside the clouds, there are very small microscopic particles. It could be dust, it could be ash, salt, sometimes pollen, and those little microscopic particles attract droplets of water vapor. And the water vapor freezes. It's very cold up there. The water vapor freezes onto the particles and forms a simple 6-sided ice crystal around the particle. And the reason that it's a 6-sided particle has to do with the shape of the water molecule and how it hooks up together. And Ben could explain that, but I don't think we need to. And that part is the same for all snowflake crystals. But as the snowflake starts to fall through the cloud and then out into the atmosphere, then things get more interesting. The crystal encounters more water vapor, and the water vapor that it encounters clings to the edges and the corners of the snowflake as it freezes. And each side of the crystal is exposed to the same conditions, so it grows out symmetrically from the center. And no two snowflakes encounter the exact same atmospheric conditions because their individual paths are all slightly different on the way down, and it doesn't have to be a very big difference in conditions to change the design of the snowflake. So even if they come from the same cloud, they're not going to look the same. If the conditions are mostly stable all the way down, then they tend to form a uniform series of 6-sided plate-like flat crystals sticking out from the edges of the snowflake. Yes, Hannah?
Is snow being kind of crystal structured, is that why it's sparkly when the sun shines?
Yes, it is, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I appreciate snow so much more.
I know. If the conditions change a lot on the way down, they might form spiky spindles coming out or those fern-like shaped lacy crystals sticking out at the edges. That would indicate that the conditions changed a lot on the way down. When the air is warmer and more humid, the snowflake shapes are more complex When the air is colder and drier, they have simpler shapes. And also, the more humid the air, the larger the snowflakes get. And that makes sense since it's the water vapor in the air that's freezing and clinging to the flake and adding to its size. The average size for a larger single snowflake is about 1/2 inch across. That's about it for a larger snowflake size. So since it grows out from the center, scientists can look at the snowflake like they do tree rings on a tree to see the conditions that it grew in. And each new shape of the branch on the way out can describe whether it was warmer or colder, drier or humid, in each part of the atmosphere that it fell through. If you want to be able to really take a good look at the shape of the falling snowflakes this winter, you probably did this when you were a child, it works best if you catch them on a piece of black construction paper and look at them with a magnifying glass before they melt. Yeah, right. Now, if you start out with very cold construction paper, that works better than if you just bring out warm construction paper.
I remember learning in 3rd grade about this guy who used to take photographs.
Oh yeah, if you look online, there are some amazing photographs.
Devil's advocate question.
Yeah,
Isn't it possible
yeah.
that of all the millions of snowflakes that fall in a year,
Oh, she's falling right into my
that
trap.
there might be 2 the same, that
Well,
just happen
Dolly.
to fall through the same?
Dolly, I've got some information coming up that'll address that question.
But it's impossible to test the theory.
She's done some
because they
extensive
know.
research.
Well, with computers, no, I'm ready for you, and I will talk about that. So, but good question. Always question. Be doubtful. Also, if you don't have a magnifying glass now, I guess we can just use the zooms on our camera. We don't have to walk around with magnifying glasses, right? So next thing says you might think that you see 2 that are the same, but that's because there are only about 40 shape categories that all snowflakes have. So they look very similar sometimes, but 2 that may look the same with the bare eye wouldn't be identical if you looked at them carefully under a microscope. So now, even though we've all been told that no 2 snowflakes are alike, that might sound impossible to some. Well, when the math was done to compute, and this was done on computers, where they can make those crazy calculations. So when the math was done to compute all of the variations and conditions that are possible as a snowflake falls from the sky, and all of the possible paths and speeds that a single snowflake can travel, there are 10 to the 70th power more possible snowflake designs than there are atoms in the universe.
Dang.
Oh, right. More
That's
than
a big
atoms
number.
of it.
Let that sink in.
10 to the what?
10 to the 70th power. That's 1 with 70 zeros after
I
it.
know what it is.
And
More than the atoms in the universe.
not on Earth even, in the
All
universe.
right.
So,
we're
what are the
getting close
odds?
to
So what
Yeah.
the heck are they?
But wait a minute.
That's a number. It's got a name. It's like quadrivermixillion or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you may still doubt. I don't know, but if you believe that, then okay. A mineral crystal can last unchanged for billions of years. We have billions of year-old crystals, but a snowflake may melt away before your eyes. And its unique design will never be seen again. So obviously they melt with never being seen, and they'll never be seen again. So instead of complaining about the snow this winter, I plan to try to take some time to catch snowflakes and marvel at what nature has created before it disappears.
Plus, you know what? They taste good.
They do taste good.
I never thought of snowflakes as like water crystals.
Yeah, they're crystals.
You know what happened to me? I come running in and I say, I found 2 snowflakes that are exact. Oh.
I Want Crystals to Form by Alistair J. Kraft. I want crystals to form in my bones, sparking from the stardust of my blood, pushing and floating through the space, sick with sweat and iron, nestling the galaxies in the bone marrow, growing and glistening in the back, the weight pulling me down, sinking feet into earth, reminding me we are all created from the dust of stars. Treasure hidden inside, till a shearing calamity cracks ooziest matter, the prize revealed, glinting in the grave.
Thank you. So this month we have been exploring tools, spiritual practices that have been labeled witchcraft, and thinking about how we can use these tools and learning more about them to sort of maybe help us remove the fear or hesitancy and just to be more knowledgeable about these spiritual practices that exist in the world and to offer them up for us if we want to try them out, because none of them come with their own faith. We can use whatever faith we claim as we utilize, we did tarot and Reiki and astrology, and today we finish off with crystals. So this has been a fun exploration of different crafts that we have some local experts in, and Kayden is our local expert on crystals. So I'm gonna let them take it away. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kayden. If you don't know me, hi. How many people have had somebody like roll their eyes when like you talk about crystals, or they're like, oh, that woo-woo stuff, or they're just rocks, they don't really do anything?
My aunt was a crystal collector, but it wasn't, it was just because they're
pretty.
fascinating.
Yeah. Or yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's hard for me with my medicine. It like makes my voice really low. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people collect them because they're pretty. A lot of people collect them just because like other people do. Or for me, I've been collecting crystals since I was like 16, so probably 15 years or so. Where I've been like dabbling in, and crystals were the first thing that I've ever, like really stepped into, like when it came to spirituality or, witchy stuff or, stuff like that. I know a lot of people have like, when I tell them about them, they're like, oh, like I don't understand, or like I said, like, oh, they're just rocks, and it took me a really long time to figure out how to articulate what they do, because I felt it, you could feel the energy within the crystals. So I knew that they worked, or that I was working with them, but I couldn't get the words out. I couldn't get the science right with it, right? So when I started to do research, because I didn't like research crystals. They kind of just like came to me on the path. And when I did research on how to explain how they actually work and how they're not just rocks or not just pretty, could I use your drums? Do you mind?
Yeah.
As like a little stand here, a little prop.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
If there is some substantial power involved with this, don't you think that it would have to do with frequencies?
Get in there. Yep, just like Barb said. Get in there. Get in there. No, I like it. I like it because that means you understand. And that means you're on the same
One of my
frequency.
heroes has always been Nikola Tesla. So.
I don't know. Can everyone see it?
I can hold it up.
If you want. If you want, Barb. Barb can be my little assistant. Okay.
My daughter
So
took a test at the DMV.
this look, I know. You don't have to, I mean, you could pass it around or whatever at one point, but so it looks a little complicated, but it's really not. Normally it's in the shape of like a triangle, but my OCD wouldn't allow that. So I couldn't get the triangle right. So this is Dr. David Hawking's map of consciousness, which he studied how vibrations and frequencies work. He studied, basically came up with how everything in the universe vibrates. So that's like literally everything that you're looking at. This is vibrating. This is vibrating. This is everything is vibrating, whether you could see it or not, which is also like a crazy concept. So your thoughts and emotions also vibrate, and they also carry a frequency. So with the crystals, that's more so like what it is geared towards. It's geared towards your thoughts. It's geared towards your emotions. It's an aid almost, kind of like a catalyst that is just like by your side that helps you out. So when you shift your emotional state, your vibration, you also shift your frequency. So he found out that the highest frequency, which he measures in hertz, I don't know if you guys have ever gone on, a music playlist and put on, some 777 hertz, anxiety playlist or something, and it's just frequency music. It's kind of to get you into that space, right? So he found out that the highest was 700 to 1,000, which is enlightenment and pure consciousness, which is also why I have, the Buddha up here as well, because that's, what he obtained by sitting under the tree, right? So the highest is 700 to 1,000, and the lowest, which is, the low vibrational, like very, very low vibrational. So your emotions carry a vibration, which, moves. So the vibration moves, and the frequency is how much it moves. So if you're like in a really, really, really low state, you're feeling shame, misery, humiliation, say like, you're down bad. You could tell when someone walks into a room, you could feel that vibe, right? That's what people say. Oh, good vibes, bad vibes. Like, it's not a lie. It's an actual thing. It's also an actual thing that when you are around somebody that you could also, it's transferable. Energy is transferable. So you have to have that wall of protection around you to make sure that, that's what crystals also are an aid for. So with that being said, the lower frequencies down here, they represent the lower vibrational emotions. So anger, guilt, shame. I can relate to this, like when, my grandmother died. I was down bad. You know what I mean? 5 years ago, and it took me a while to get like up to here. Not all the way, but you know what I mean. So, and then the higher frequencies represent the emotions of peace, bliss, enlightenment. This is what people try to get to. This is like how I compare it. Enlightenment is like kind of like eternal life. If we're talking about like Christianity and stuff like that, it's like opening your mind and your soul and your body and everything to, you know what I mean? So it's like having that eternal pure consciousness, that eternal pure energy. So all of our lives we are working, we fluctuate. Humans, they fluctuate on emotions, thoughts. Some days are good, some days are bad. Some days you're going to be at 200, some days you might be at 400, and you might be feeling great. All right, so that's what this is. Thank you so much. That is what Dr. David Hawkins figured out, which I think is amazing. I don't know how he figured it out. He's really smart, but there's that. And if you guys want to look at this after, feel free. That's fine.
Interesting to me that love wasn't higher on the list.
So love is actually the enlightenment.
Yeah.
Love is, that's just it. Love is. You know what I mean? Like that is what every single religion is based on, is trying to get to, this isn't even Buddhism, but it has a lot of, Buddhist concepts. But it also, if you look at it, it also has love, revelation, reverence, joy, serenity, peace, bliss. It's all of the things that are in the Bible. It's all of the things that are in the Quran. It's all of the things that everybody, it's universal. Anyway, so with that,
Questions or hold them till the end, Kayden?
yeah, just give me 2 seconds because I might get to what you're going to say. All right. So with that being said, every crystal, let me see this. Here's this. So the crystals act as energetic tools. So as Barb was saying earlier, all of these crystals are at a fixed state, which means that their vibration is what they are at. Us humans, our vibration, like I said, it fluctuates with our emotions. So each one of these represent a frequency that is on here somewhere. That is for us to look up or, whatever. So one of these crystals are going to make you feel or place you or help aid you on this map of consciousness here. So with that being said, they help you to remember here your natural frequency of balance, love, and wholeness. So when you're near them, like I said, your body and your emotions begin to synchronize with the vibration of the crystal. So this one here, for instance, this is labradorite. And this is, if you could see, it's beautiful. If you look at it, you can pass them around or whatever. It's a bunch of different colors. If you shine it, it's all sparkly. And it's actually, the crystal in Dragon Tales.
Yeah.
It's that crystal. Right? So with that being said, this is a spirit crystal. So this, if you want to connect more to the ether, if you want to connect more to the, enlightenment consciousness or, get downloads from above, whoever your God, whatever you choose, you can use this as an aid. Keep it around and your frequency and your vibration will match to the frequency and vibration of the crystal. With that being said, most times you don't force it. It's not like a forceful thing where you're like, oh, I need to get this for this. Or sometimes if you have it in your head, like the other day, I was like, oh, I need to get an evil eye, which is something that helps protect you from outside sources. I went and I got a ring, But most times they kind of just come to you. All of these I've collected along the way. I have a lot more. But they have stumbled upon my path in some way because I needed it at that time. They're not something that, they can be. You go out and you get flashy things, but when I see a crystal personally, I go into a store, I'm not looking for anything. You feel like a jolt. You feel like what? I want to see that. What is that? When that happens, get it or study it. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel that pull, it's for a reason, and almost every single time that I've gotten one of these, I had no idea what they were. No idea. And then all of a sudden when I looked it up and I researched it, it was for me. In that moment, I needed that. Right? Yes. So anyway, when you synchronize with the frequencies and vibrations of the crystals, it helps bring more positive energies where you're going to raise on this chart and you're not going to stay in here. So for fear, anxiety, I do, some clear quartz sometimes or some rose quartz. Rose quartz is for love, relationships, health, healing. And the reason that we know that is because, like Barb said, they're ancient minerals that were and are formed under pressure and heat, giving their internal structures a perfect atomic symmetry, which, like Barb said, it is a fixed and stable frequency and vibration that is not going to change. So if I'm needing some love in my life or I'm needing some, heart healing, and this goes in with all the chakras and stuff like that, which you could, do your research. That's a different thing. But if I'm needing I'm having a broken heart or something like that, I'm going to carry some rose quartz.
That was my question. Is it effective for synchronizing with the vibrations? If it's just in the room, or should you be in contact with it?
So it could be just like right now, all of our energies are intertwining with every single one of these crystals right now. And that's okay. You don't have to hold it on your person. You can, like sometimes I carry like this hematite. It's very heavy. Hematite is known to be heavier because what it does is it sucks out all of the negative energy and it tries to get all of that out. Sometimes when a hematite breaks, you know you're done. You know, it's done its course. You know, I've had hematite rings where it's just they break off. You're like, all right, thank you. You know, bury it somewhere. It's had enough. You know, but no, you can have them around just like this. At some places, and I have one myself, they have little like cages, like little metal cages where you can put them in. Sometimes, you know, you could like put them in rings, or you could make bracelets like this. Actually, I made this when I was away a few years ago. I made this, and yeah, this I have hematite on right now because, like I said, it tries to block and clear all negativity.
Liz gave me some quartz, and she said put it in the corners
Of your house. Yep, especially in the like the first month, like the first of the month. You want to do that as well. You could put that quartz in the corners of your home, salt in the corners of your home, and cinnamon at the door. It's just like a little ritual that like clears energy. Clear quartz is like number one. That's like the number one crystal that everyone, you know, goes to because it is the universal one. It can align and interact with all crystals without having like an issue, because there are some crystals, and I can't tell you which ones, that can't interact with each other because of the energy, you know, because that's what it all is. It all comes down to the energy of it. Let me see, do I have anything else? Oh, last one here, and I've already gone over it. So basically, like Dolly said, you don't have to have it on your person at all times. I used to have like a specific room where I had crystals, or like all around the house I have them. Most times if you are attracted to a crystal, even because it is pretty, it's still an underlying feeling there. It's layered. It's not just, oh, this is pretty. It's your body, your vibration wanted that for some reason. It pulled you to that crystal. I don't know if if you've been friends with me, there's probably been a time where I've given you a crystal. It's just something that I feel in my gut to do at that time, in that moment, because our vibration, our frequency, we're on the same frequency, and I feel that need to give this away to you because you are now in need of it. So when you do hold or meditate with the crystal, or even if it's around, your energy field begins to resonate with its vibration. This is called entrainment. It aligns with the fixed frequency. So because humans are all over the place and we're messy people and we have a lot of emotions and things and ups and downs, these are what will stabilize you. So if you're looking for something along the lines here, if you're, say you're down and you're angry, like I've been pretty angry and holding into like resentment and stuff like that. So I've been, like I said, carry hematite, and hematite, at the frequency that it's at helps bring me to that. So yes, it is all science. It's all frequency, vibration. I also brought this book if anybody wants to, just look through it. It's called Frequency, the Power of Personal Vibration. I've read a little bit of it, not a lot, but it is very interesting, and it's about like all of this. Oh, is that the malachite? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the green one. See, and that's actually what's going to be coming up, so keep hold of that. A lot. They all do all different things too, which is like, it's not just all for like one, you know what I mean? And they also, because of the frequency, like alignment, when you go to a higher frequency and you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you're also doing like good for your physical health. It's not just, your emotional health or well-being. It starts to go into your physical. You can use what did I use when I broke my back? I forget what I used, but I put this. You can rub selenite all over your body. You can wake up and just rub it all over your body. It's like a cleansing crystal. I used to lay like this in the summertime and just like have it cleanse me like over my body. You know what I mean? But yeah, they also have physical like health attributes to it too. So I don't think we're going to be going into meditation just yet, but there is a book here where most of the crystals, I did forget some, which is crazy. Most of the crystals that are on here are on this little index thing here. So if you have questions on what is what when we do get to our next part, you'll be able to look here, and then I have the page numbers, so you'll be able to do that as well.
What this one is?
That is the ruby fuchsite.
Okay, that's weird that it's called that because it's green.
It's green and pink.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's keep them there for now, though. So that way we're all good for meditation. But yeah, I'm all set. That's if anybody has any questions. I know it was kind of like choppy a little bit, but what's up? I'm sweating. I don't know how you do this.
No, you did well.
Very good job.
Thanks.
Say you put me at 540, okay? So
Yeah.
540, the number,
Yeah.
represents what, megahertz?
Joy. Yeah. So it's measured in hertz, which don't ask me about that. Yes.
Okay, so what does that represent? Does that represent the aura that I'm giving off?
Yeah. So the aura that you want to attract, or both. I mean, it depends. So say you're just say you're vibing at 540 and you're at joy, serenity, and all that stuff, and you're just vibing. That's great because that vibe will also, your aura will transfer out, your energy field will transfer out and bring that vibration out more. If you have the crystals on you too, though, it can elevate your vibration even more and you can be even more happy. You know what I'm saying? It's just an aid. It's not something that's going to like, yes, this is going to like change my life. You know, it's just kind of like a talisman, right? A talisman. You
Crystals
just,
basically are kind of like a tuning fork that just goes forever?
yes. Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. That is the best way that you could put that.
Now call them native cards.
Well, you know,
I've seen a lot of stuff with chakras and stones.
Yes.
Is there an overlap with that? And also, I've seen people using tiger eye.
I gave away all of my tiger's eye. Yes, I've given one to you. I think I've given one. I don't know. I've given tiger's eye to so many people.
What is tiger eye?
Tiger's eye, it is also an intuition crystal. It helps you dive into yourself. It also connects you with, your whoever you believe in. It is like an aid to like help you keep on track, like to keep focused. Yeah, exactly.
Self-awareness, self-confidence.
Yep. Yeah.
So is it related all to it with the chakra stuff?
Yeah, so the chakras are just the energy points in your body. So the goal in life for some people, is to have those completely cleared. So you envision them as these wheels in your body that are churning, right? And the life force energy is supposed to come down, and be able to go through you, it actually comes from the root, to go up through you to connect you to I say the ether, okay? I just say the ether because whatever, you believe in. But yeah, so it all is intertwined because you can use these to help open those wheels so that way the life force energy is able to, go through because it's the root, the sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, and then the crown. And they all have their, all different meanings and things that they do. But the goal with the chakras, is to have them all open and spinning, which that is enlightenment. That is what that is. When every single one of them is open and spinning, which is very, very hard to get to, that is where you are fully, like, think about it. If you think about a white light going up through your spine, through the root where you come from, going up, and the wheels are churning, and it's allowing the light to go through, and they're churning and churning and churning, and all of a sudden you are completely connected to whatever that is. I can feel it right now. That is when enlightenment happens. It's when you're fully connected to whatever God you believe in, whatever source you are having that conversation with, that's not a crazy person in your head. You know, that's the root of what, that's like all religion. That's what you want to get to, right? You want to get to that connection with God, that eternal life with God, that eternal life force energy. You know, it's all intertwined in the same. So yeah, it all has stuff to do with it, and these can aid in helping open those. So that way you can have that full connection with that energy.
It's also kind of like a balancing thing. Like sometimes you have overactive or underactive, so they can help to balance it. Like, and the tiger eye is associated with the solar plexus, which they say is like your personal power.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff to dive into, and they all intertwine hand in hand, and they all help each other, and that's what the Reiki is for too. So the Reiki, the hands-on, or however you do it, that energy is to open those chakras, so that way the energy can flow through. That's why afterwards sometimes you feel exhausted, you feel pain sometimes because, you know, a lot of traumas in your hips. You want to cry, you know, to let that out because it's trying to balance exactly what you said, that energy centers. And the energy is powerful, you know, it's emotions, thoughts. Sometimes we create our own negative against us, you know, and that's what this is all about too, is like the awareness that the vibration that we do carry, our thoughts, they vibrate on a certain frequency. So if we are, you know, for me, for example, you know, when I was overdosed medically, it was a thought loop of just negative. It took me months to get out of it. I would say I was probably negative 20. You know what I mean? But when you stay in that vibration and you stay in that frequency, you're going to carry that out. But say I was like that, and I was like, man, I really just need some peace. I just need some serenity and to calm down. Like maybe I can use this to help as an aid to maybe align my negative vibration with the positive vibration of this. And this is fixed, right? So it doesn't move, it's at a fixed frequency. So my negative with this as an aid might be able to just to hop up a little bit, you know, and try to reach the frequency, emotion of what this is.
And what is that one?
It's amethyst. It's just a tumbled one. Yeah, it's amethyst. But yeah, so.
I know the frequencies do you good because for me it's always been music that will either calm or elevate, just relax. And it's because of
The frequency.
the vibration.
A lot of artists know what they're doing too, and they know exactly like how to get right where you're like, oh, they knew what they were doing there, you know, because some are, huh? Some, like I've had negative experiences with some crystals, but you'll feel it, and you'll be like, all right, I got to get rid of that. You know, it's not for me. There was a time when I was younger, black tourmaline, which is also one that is like to help ward off like negative spirits and stuff like that. It's a really heavy one. I wasn't vibing with that. I felt like it was bringing things towards me instead of away. So it had to go. You know, you'll know when you, like I said, you'll know when you know if it's for you, and you'll also know like this has to go. I've had to get rid of a few crystals, like when it comes to even just like friendships or relationships. Like in my house, I've gotten a crystal, and then I brought it home, and then things go freaking haywire, and I'm like, nope, gotta go. Like, you gotta go. And then when it's gone, everything's fine again, and people think I'm woo-woo crazy. But with that being said, this is the science behind the woo-woo. So, yeah.
Is there a correlation between the density of the material and the frequency that's assigned to it?
That's a really good question that I don't know. I mean, it would make sense.
It's not that the frequency is assigned, it's measured,
Yeah.
right? So they put some
Whatever.
way of measuring frequency on a crystal, and that tells you what hertz it's vibrating at. So I would think, yeah, the density would.
There'd be more atoms in a denser thing, so there'd
Well,
be
it would make sense.
So I was wondering,
Yeah, because the black tourmaline and that.
say if you took
Hematite is
this
heavy.
and the astronauts took it with them up onto the space station in a weightless environment, would it still have the same frequency?
Yes.
I would think so.
Does gravity affect the vibration?
I don't think so.
No, that's a different thing. Gravity's just.
I think it would still. I would think it would float, but I think it would float at a fixed state.
That's why a tuning fork eventually stops, because gravity affects it.
Right.
Huh.
That's
But
true.
that's a
Yeah, it
sound
would go
wave, right?
forever.
That's a
But
sound
that's
wave.
motion.
And that's a
Yeah.
sound wave, that's different
Yeah,
than this.
Yeah.
That was just an analogy with the two.
That would be an interesting test, though, to
Yeah.
the frequency of it in a weightless environment.
Yeah.
I don't think it would change.
I was gonna say. I think it would just like float.
Wait a minute, really?
No, as it should though. But that's the thing.
Like an object in motion has the same motion.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like your mind goes, but it goes for reasons. So it's like this. I wanted to plant a seed and crack it open a little bit because these things are like, they're not the woo woo. And once they become more normalized, you know, people won't think it's the woo woo. And once you guys can also educate other people, because you'll be like, oh, actually, they're not just rocks. Let me tell you about this, you know. Or just whatever. If you don't believe in it, they're pretty, right? You know, put them in your house, whatever.
They're
You
a
know.
beautiful example of God's creation.
Exactly. You know, these were all formed, and none of
And
them.
that they took millions of years buried underground
Yeah.
to create this unique thing.
And none of them. I don't do fake ones.
A couple
So.
weeks ago, I was like going through I was wrestling with some stuff. And I literally just brought my trash out to the dumpster, and I'm coming back inside it, so I got like drew to like just a small piece of quartz to sell. And I brought it in with me, and it's like still staying in my dresser. So
I love, yeah, you can actually, don't ask me, I'm not a geologist, but like there are certain places around here, obviously like Herkimer diamonds, like you can go and like mine your own, but even out in nature here, like I found some, jasper, maybe, I don't know what it is, don't ask me, but I found crystals and geodes, like right, just, you know, around in New York going on a path, you know, so cool, all right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing these. We're going to put them to use. If you feel so inclined, we can gather around this table and simply sense what crystal here is calling to you to hold during our time of meditation.
Yeah, it's like these.
And then afterwards, you can look it up. You can ask Kayden what it is.
Yeah, that's where
And
you can ask me
look
which
it
one you
up
have.
what it's for.
Okay.
But right now, we don't need to know that.
Yeah.
We're just going to grab one that called to you, whether it looked pretty, whether it glimmered in the right way as you passed it, whatever it was about it, it doesn't matter what it drew you to it. So take one or two if you want, and we're just going to sit with it for a couple minutes and receive its vibration. Good vibration.
Good vibration.
Yeah, you can lay down, you can place it on your chakra if you want. I can play some frequency music. It's coming. So sit with your crystal, feel the vibration of it, and receive the gift of the Creator who made it. Whatever gift that is, be open to receive what it is you need today. As we have received these gifts of crystals, the vibration and frequency within them, take a moment to give thanks for the rocks, the pressure, the atoms. Give thanks to the Creator for creating this space, this planet that forms crystals in its depths and gives us these gifts of loving, guiding frequency to physically hold on to embrace. After you've expressed your gratitude, you can continue to hold on to your crystal that spoke to you, but start to bring some awareness back to this space. And you can slowly open your eyes if they were closed, or bring your attention back here to this room. You'll continue to have this crystal in your hand as we move into our closing song together. Thanks for listening. If you want to support Church in the Wild and the work we do in striving for environmental and social justice, just head on over to our website, churchinthewild.org, and click the donate link at the top. There you can make a donation, set yourself up as a recurring supporter, or you can buy something from our Redbubble shop. We're so glad you're with us on this journey, following the Spirit through creation, adventure, and restoration. Until next time.